Once upon a time, in the vast, golden grasslands of the Ndebele people, there lived a clever and mischievous creature named Okoro. Though known for his wit, Okoro often used his cleverness to outsmart others, leaving many wary of his antics. Yet, he lived alone and longed for companionship. After much thought, Okoro decided it was time to marry. He had chosen a bride from a neighboring village, and as custom dictated, he needed a trusted companion to accompany him on the important journey to meet his in-laws. Okoro sought out Felix, a cheerful and trusting friend who was always eager to help. Felix's kind nature and loyalty made him an easy target for Okoro's schemes. "Friend Felix," Okoro said one morning, "I am to travel to my bride's village to meet her family. Will you come with me and share this important moment?" Felix, with his broad smile and carefree spirit, clapped his hands in joy. "Of course, friend Okoro. What are friends for if not to help each other? I will gladly come along." The two friends set off, their laughter ringing out as they crossed the sunlit plains. The journey was long, and as the day wore on, they came to a dense thicket. Okoro suddenly stopped and pointed to a small, jagged-leafed shrub growing among the bushes. "Friend Felix," Okoro said with a solemn tone, "this shrub is very important. It is a magical herb that cures even the most terrible tummy aches. When we reach my in-laws' village, we will surely be served a feast. My stomach is delicate, and if it troubles me, I will need you to return here and dig up this herb for me. Can I count on you?" Felix, ever loyal, nodded enthusiastically. "Of course, friend Okoro. If your stomach aches, I will bring you the herb without delay." As they continued their journey, the sun dipped low, painting the sky with shades of orange and gold. By the time they reached the village, night had fallen. Okoro and Felix were greeted warmly by Okoro's future in-laws, who prepared a grand feast to honor the guests. As the delicious aroma of roasted meats and stews filled the air, Okoro and Felix were shown to their room. Soon, the feast was brought in, and the two friends sat down to eat. But just as Felix took his first bite, Okoro clutched his stomach dramatically. "Oh no, friend," Okoro groaned. "The ache has begun already. My stomach is churning like a stormy sea. Quick, friend Felix, fetch the herb, or I may not survive the night." Without hesitation, Felix leapt to his feet and dashed into the darkness, retracing their path to the shrub. Meanwhile, Okoro, now alone, grinned mischievously and began devouring the entire feast. When he had eaten his fill, he called for the dishes to be cleared and lay back contentedly. Hours later, Felix stumbled back into the room, panting and clutching the herb. His fur was matted with sweat, and his hands were stained with dirt. "Friend Okoro," he said between breaths, "I have brought the herb. How is your stomach now?" Okoro stretched lazily. "Ah, my friend, a miracle has occurred. As soon as you left, my stomach settled. I ate the meal, and now I feel as strong as ever." Felix's face fell. "But where is my food?" Okoro shrugged. "The hosts came and cleared it away. We must rest now, for tomorrow will be a big day." That night, as Felix lay in bed, his stomach growling loudly, Okoro leaned over and whispered, "Friend, I have a plan. There is a goat in the pen outside. Let us take it, roast it quietly, and satisfy our hunger." Though hesitant, Felix's hunger overcame his better judgment, and he agreed. Together, they crept into the goat pen and stole a young goat. They roasted it in the shadows and ate their fill. But Okoro, true to his cunning nature, secretly saved some of the goat's blood. As Felix slept soundly, Okoro smeared the blood on Felix's hands and fur. At dawn, the village erupted in chaos. The in-laws discovered the missing goat and came storming into Okoro and Felix's room. Both friends denied the crime, but the blood on Felix's hands told a different story. "Traitor," the villagers cried, dragging Felix away despite his protests. Okoro stood solemnly, shaking his head as if in disappointment. "I am ashamed of my friend's behavior," he said. "But please, do not let this mar our bond." The villagers punished Felix and sent him away in disgrace. Okoro, feigning sorrow, left the village soon after, satisfied with his success. But word of Felix's betrayal and punishment spread, reaching the ears of Dumais, Felix's closest friend. Dumais was a creature of sharp wit and steely resolve, and his heart burned with anger. Okoro must pay for his treachery, Dumais declared. He devised a plan to outsmart the cunning Okoro. One day, Dumais visited Okoro, appearing cheerful and friendly. "Friend Okoro," he said, "I have found myself a bride in a far-off village. Will you accompany me to meet her families?" Okoro, unsuspecting, agreed eagerly. As they journeyed, Dumais stopped by a shrub and pointed to it. "Friend Okoro, this herb is special. It cures tummy aches. If I fall ill after the feast, I will need you to fetch it for me." Okoro nodded, but as Dumais turned away, Okoro secretly dug up the herb and hid it in his pouch. When they reached the village, a feast awaited them. Just as they began eating, Dumais clutched his stomach and groaned. "Friend, the ache has begun. Fetch the herb, or I may not survive." Okoro grinned and produced the herb, surprising Dumais. The two shared the feast, though Dumais's mind raced. That night, Dumais woke Okoro, whispering of hunger. They stole a goat and feasted again. But this time, both kept some blood. As Dumais pretended to sleep, Okoro kept watch, his eyes slitted and alert. Dumais, determined to outwit him, pretended to fall into deep slumber. At dawn, the villagers stormed into their room. Dumais pointed to Okoro, accusing him, but Okoro laughed. "Look at his hands," Okoro said smoothly. The villagers gasped at the blood on Dumais's hands. Realizing he had been outmaneuvered, Dumais hung his head in shame. As Okoro left the village, Dumais called after him, "Beware, Okoro. One day, your tricks will lead to your downfall." But Okoro only smiled, his clever eyes sparkling in the morning light, and walked away victorious.